We've written 3 books, and those books have spun off other things as well, TV and theatre and movie as well, right? Is that something you'd get into, writing again?
I wrote my first book, the teenage textbook, in 1988. At that time, I wanted to find a way to support myself in university. So I started giving private tuition. I was Singapore's worst tuition teacher, really bad. My students did very badly, and it was all my fault. I wasn't trained to be a teacher. So I realized that I would soon need to find another way to support myself. So I started writing, and at first I wrote magazine articles. Eventually I wrote the teenage textbook, which is a novel about Hwa Chong Junior College, my old junior college. And that enabled me to support myself through university. That and the sequel, the teenage workbook. The books were also turned into TV series, movies, stage plays, and so on. It's possible to write 1 or 2 books in Singapore and have them succeed, and you're able to support yourself as a writer for a very short while. But it's impossible to support yourself as a writer as a career. So once I started practice, I became a lawyer, and that was my main job, my main career. I feel like I should write a book now. I started writing it, but I'm not sure if it's a very difficult process.
Is it in the same vein though, humor?
It's about Singapore. So if you think about Singapore, you definitely want to laugh, because this country has a lot of, it's a very funny country.
Okay. So do you think that'll happen?
I hope so, although I've been working on this book for 30 years, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Would you say it's at some point in the process?
It's like the second or third chapter of 40 chapters.
Okay, so a bit of a ways to go. Still.
Yeah, that's right. Almost there, I would say.
Would that be a retirement job to complete it? Is retirement on the cards in the first place?
No, I'm not planning to retire. I like doing my job. Being a lawyer is one of those things you can do as much of or as little of as you like. I'm quite lucky. So I'll continue doing this for as long as I can, and I'm very keen to do other stuff as well. Writing is something that I feel helps us to document Singapore. We went through from the 60s to the 70s to the 80s to the 90s this whole phase of Singaporean development. Our country changed so many times. The people changed so many times. We didn't really document it enough. I know we had newspapers and magazines. I don't know how much of them survived, but I don't think we told enough of the stories that Singapore had during that era. And it's all fading away. The Singapore of Lee Kuan Yew, the campaigns that we had, the politics that we had, the issues facing our country, from long hair and drugs and strange things like censoring Cosmopolitan magazine, our day-to-day lives, we didn't write that down. Nowadays, there are more people writing about Singapore, but it's also in terms of blogs and social media posts, which are good, magazine articles and so on. And there's a new generation of novelists in Singapore. They're more prolific. I think our generation, the generation in their 50s and 60s, while we still can, we each should go and write something about what we remember about growing up. In Singapore, when we're not so wealthy and affluent, when everything was more uncertain, as much as we can remember, we should write it down. And if we don't, it will all be gone.